That as a Christian who went to Israel, I spent 2 weeks there with the church, and we had an incredible time. We had only one incident where a small child spit on one of the pastors, and immediately after, there was an adult that came by and said, "That's not a representation of who we are. You know, we love you guys. You guys."
Yet the small child knows to spit on one of the pastors. We only had one time where somebody spit. I've never seen a Muslim spit at a Christian. Just so you know. How come the kids over there know that they can spit at Christians? A kid looking at his daddy like, but wait a minute, we were just doing this yesterday, right? Okay, so Brandon Tatum, I'm telling you, this is one that I think that people should have the right to call him whatever they want, call him names, make fun, point, and laugh at Brandon Tatum. He deserves it. I'm serious. We're going to go through a little bit more of his disgusting interview. And what makes this disgusting, again, is that Brandon Tatum is taking all the lies from Netanyahu and gives no pushback whatsoever. He is there to do the job of a good boy. You good boy. You good boy. You deserve a good pat on the head.
You guys are always welcome here. And I have to say, no adults gave us any grief. We had no issues whatsoever. And our experience there, it was actually an amazing experience.
By the way, do you know that it's against the law in so-called Israel to proselytize about Christ in Israel, like to talk to Jews about Christ, which is exactly what the Christians are actually supposed to be doing over there?
It actually changed the way I thought about Israel, and I fell in love with Israel when I came there. And I
because
think
only one child spit on you, that made you fall in love with Israel? He really looks like a gorilla. I don't even care. I don't. Yeah, I'm going in. I am. I know this is not the Christian way. I should pray for his soul. And you know what? I ask God to have mercy on his soul. And maybe the Lord could wake him up to all of this. I know the Lord couldn't. But that he would accept the Lord calling on him and saying, what you're doing is wrong. Until then. So I'm genuine about that prayer. But until then, though, I'm sorry. I have no choice. I'm only human. I can't help it.
A lot of that is a testament to how Christians are actually treated, not what the naysayers say.
Brandon, I want to add to that. Look, one of my lifelong friends is Willem Vanderveen, and he was for many years. He established the Christian embassy in Jerusalem. He brought in Christian communities into Israel from around the world.
Okay, Christian Zionism is not anything to even get all hype about.
Open arms, as you were.
And I wrote down a couple of questions because I didn't want to miss anything. The accusations of war crimes. So we see it all over mainstream media here in the United States of America, all over the world. They're making these claims that Israel is committing war crimes, you are a war criminal, and that you guys are indiscriminately, not only, like we mentioned before, destroying Christian monuments in Gaza, but killing people indiscriminately, especially children. And these are some of the accusations that have come out. Can you respond directly to those charges? You know, many, and you've probably heard this too, many people say that you are facing criminal charges and this is the reason why you're perpetuating the war.
He probably is so, look, yes, I got him at the right time. He's closing his eyes as he's like, this is the most low IQ experience I've ever had. You probably heard some of this too. So Netanyahu's not heard that he's, wanted by the ICC, all of these, ICJ charges and everything else. Of course, I mean, they're not going to do anything. Nobody would ever arrest him. I mean, Israel's been allowed to sit here and slaughter a race of people for almost 2 years now, and ain't nobody coming around doing anything about it. Really makes me look at the world very differently. I mean, my God, does everybody bow down to the Jew this hard? Okay, anyway, so you probably heard this too. You probably heard this too, or Netanyahu. You probably heard that they want to arrest you. What are you, dumb?
Can you speak to those issues that people are bringing up, justifiably or not? Can you speak to that, Prime Minister?
Yes, I can. First of all, about our policy in conducting a just war. We do that with just means. No army in history has gone to the lengths that Israel has gone to protect the civilian population in enemy territory. Do you know of any other army in the world who's put in 2 million tons of food for the population of an enemy territory? You won't find that. Or that, for that matter, that warns people before we take action, losing the element of surprise. We're going to come into this neighborhood, please leave. And as I said, Hamas shoots them in order to prevent them from leaving. because Hamas
The
wants.
borders are closed. Never forget the border. Not only that, Israel's been, by the way, when it comes to Gaza, they've always, like before all this, they've always been in charge of how much food goes into Gaza. Can you imagine? They go in and they look, and then they'll be like, they had enough chocolates. They don't need all those chocolates. They don't need this. They give them they were giving them below standards of what humans should have daily. Why? How can you tell me that this is a normal place? Why is there something called Israel that's telling people how much you can eat daily? Okay? And the borders are closed. Where are they going to go? Listen, we even tell them, we destroy the element of surprise. We tell them before we're going to blow them up, even though, we tell them to get out of there, but even though we know they can't go anywhere. Dummy sister. Oh, sir, you think he's going to say Rafah border to Netanyahu? Let's see if he does.
Them killed, and then they can shift the blame to us. And of course, the media buy the Hamas lies and statistics, hook, line, and sinker. And that's how you get the civilian casualties. But if you look at other theaters, and Colonel John Spencer of West Point, who's the head of urban studies in West Point, he studied all urban conflicts in modern times. He says that Israel has gone to unprecedented lengths to prevent civilian casualties. And the ratio is probably about 1.5 to 1, 1.5 non-combatants to 1, which is probably very low, very, very low compared.
I've debated John Spencer on Twitter. The guy that he's talking about, John Spencer, has blocked me because I dismantled him. I pummeled him. I annihilated him in a debate. And so he blocked me because it's too much to deal with people who know what they're talking about and who stand on with purpose in the name of the Lord. Sorry, y'all.
Compared to what it was in various theaters in the Iraq War, in other places as well, in Afghanistan, where it climbed up to as many as 7 to 1. It's a very dense urban.
I really appreciate how much he uses our stats about the atrocities that we certainly did commit in these places for Israel. Oded Yanan plan, the clean break. Look it up.
Environment, Hamas took all the money that was given to them, billions, and poured it not into building Gaza, but into building a terror underground city under Gaza. They don't let the civilian population go into the tunnels. They go into the tunnels to protect themselves, and they force the civilian population above ground to stay in the battle zones. That's why you have the casualties, and they should be, the accusation should be put squarely on Hamas's corner. Now, as far as accusing me of war crimes, that's incredible, it was surface level. Of course, they'd accuse us of anything. They'd accuse me of anything. But the ICC, the International Criminal Court, was asked to check it. So the ICC prosecutor said, well, I'm going to come to Israel and I'm going to look.
No. He's going to tell that lie about how there was, the whole, situation with there was a Me Too action. The guy was going to get in trouble, and then that's why he charged.
He issues these warrants.
And Netanyahu, because it was some sort of thing. I just want to see, he's going to try to say the guy was Me Too'd into an issuing warrants on him. I refuse it, okay? I'm not, we already did this before. Because he told that lie to PBD, who also did not say anything to him about it, so.
In Israel, and there's been journalists that have been killed. People are making claims that journalists aren't allowed into Gaza to report. Obviously, if anybody's paying attention to the news, there have been accusations that some of these journalists have been a part of Hamas. The more recent incident at the hospital where there's a room of journalists that was targeted, can you explain that scenario? Because I heard that there was more to the situation than just the bombing of an isolated location at the hospital. There was actually terrorists there. Are terrorists operating out of these hospitals, or was this a accident, a misfire? Can you explain what happened at the hospital just the other day?
Yeah, first a general understanding, and then the specific case. Hamas uses hospitals, mosques, schools as command posts. Okay, they use it because they don't care about the civilian population. We ask people to leave, but we have to take, we have to also win the war. So we ask people to leave. And then we have to take on these things. And what do you think
I can't take the lies. This is why I barely can even look at the screen. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? anybody who is a man above, this is how they claim Hamas. I think males above the age of, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 16 is already considered to be a Hamas soldier for these people. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. The whole notion about, I really wish, the problem is that when all of this first started, YouTube was suppressing everything. Okay. Not only that, no people were scared to look at the reality of the situation. Israel had put out this weird video about, oh, this is where Hamas has their guns. Look at their guns. And it was so bizarre. And it was just so obvious that it was just a low thought out production. When you are, I've seen footage of them striking and shooting at literal hospital workers, okay? I've seen so much footage that I look at the world differently. I do. I really do. You know? I don't know how anybody could call himself a man and talk to this creature from the pits of hell. Okay, let me be careful. And not provide any pushback, and instead lick his butthole. That is what Brandon Tatum does. Brandon Tatum deserves to be dragged. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.